Oh yeah. How's it going, folks? It's a Monday, a dirty Monday. How you doing? Welcome to the show. 833-599-NICK. 833-599-6425 is the phone number. Little late getting on the air, trying some YouTube chat thing, which I fucking was never into, and this is the reason. But it's technology. Supposedly I know nothing about it, but I predict, I predict the difficulties ahead of time because of my positive attitude. But anyways, hopefully I'll be addressing some of your comments as my staff works feverishly. Rita and two young Guatemalan kids in the back. Anyhow, what's going on? Real quick dates. You get these at nickdip.com, but I'll read them anyways. This Friday night, September 21st, Orpheum Theater, Flagstaff, Arizona. No show this Thursday because I have a corporate gig my agent lined up before the Flagstaff gig in Phoenix. So, Saturday, September 29th, Fat Black Pussycat, New York City. Thursday, October 4th, I will be in Dallas, live in studio with Crowder, Louder with Crowder. Then that night performing at the Texas Theater in Dallas, Texas. November 2nd and 3rd, Governors at Levittown, Long Island, New York. Friday, November 9th and Saturday, November 10th, Mohegan Sun Casino, Uncasville, Connecticut. Hope to see you there, folks. Go to nickdip.com for all the ticket information. 833-599-6425, the phone number. Great weekend in Arlington, Virginia at the Draft House. Good numbers. Saturday night, both shows, not an empty seat. First show Friday, almost the same thing. And killer weekend. It's the only place in D.C. I love these guys because I've done comedy at the Improvs and the other places. And it's D.C. It's the political capital of the world, which makes it the politically correct capital of the world. And they really fucking rub up against guys like me. And this place draws a different crowd. And luckily, I've been doing it long enough. They know it's coming. And it was killer. People, somebody drove from West Virginia. And you know who was there? Oh, you know who? You're going to get a kick out. The Log Cabin Republicans. You know, the gay group, the Log Cabin. About 15 guys there. And I took pictures after the show with them. Which I think we're making headway. When guys like that come out, and I say the word faggot 3 times on stage, again, not in a negative way, just you know how we've talked about it, but it was they came out, they loved the show, and who else? Oh, Art Levine, who's an author, he's a liberal, he's an author, and he writes for a column in the Washington paper. He comes out to see me all the time. He's an old-school liberal who actually believes in looking at both sides. Very eccentric guy who writes books. He's very smart, and he follows the podcast. And it was funny, after the show, he comes up to me because he's heard me talking about my sleep problems, and he has the same things. So he hands me a baggie with a bunch of pills in it while 20 people are standing around waiting to take pictures. And I just, real loud, I said, this is Lipitor, like I asked, right? And I can put this in a syringe, and Inistol, he called it. Inosistol. Inoistol or some shit. I took it after I ate a medium pizza by myself when I got back to the room. So it wasn't really a good barometer if this shit works or not. I loaded up on carbs, and I have a lactose problem, and I ate a whole pizza by myself, and the pizza was through me in 30 minutes. It didn't even stay. It looked around my intestines and went, what the fuck is hanging on these walls? It looks like bad art, and gonzo. But he came out, he brought a buddy of mine, and a buddy of his, I should say, and gave me these pills, and loved all the new religious stuff I have in my act. And I'm telling you, if you live in that area, if you want to see comedy, unadulterated, go to the Arlington Draft House. It's fast becoming one of my favorite gigs of all time, because you can cut loose there. Anyhow, other thing I want to mention, real interesting, before I get to the stories of the day, the Kavanaugh and the what I consider bullshit, politically charged charges against him by his accuser. We have this. I'm also going to talk about the NFL, and there was some interesting. The NFL is actually interesting. The storylines this year. We'll talk about Cleveland's problems and a vicious hit some guy took. Not helmet on a helmet. He had lost his helmet. We get footage of that, and the refs almost got him killed, in my opinion, and a few other things. North Carolina looting, the usual suspects. We have an electrician that we use here at my house, a guy named Vinny. Been using him probably for 6-7 years now. Has to be in his 80s, and he came out to fix something today. We're talking to him. He's got Lyme disease, which can be fatal if you're 25 and healthy, never mind in your 80s. And we started talking to him about that while he was working out front. And we started to get on other health issues he has. And he mentioned he has, his spine is fused. There's no more cartilage in between each vertebrae and whatnot. And then we said, well, why you have such a bad back? And as he's walking away casually, he goes, it's called the U.S. military. I was in a couple wars. And the guy has, get this now, 9 Purple Hearts. 9. Had his foot blown off in Nam. They sewed it back on. He has over 5,000 stitches, just like in his legs alone. But 9 Purple Hearts. Never mentioned it. Never just, you talk about a patriot. 9 Purple Hearts. He was a Navy SEAL before they changed. It used to be frogmen, but they changed to Navy SEALs in the 60s, I guess. That's what he was. This old guy that comes out to do some of my, electrical problems at the house is a American hero. 9 Purple Hearts? Are you shitting me? So his name is Vinny Stafford is his name. And Vinny, we salute you, man. No idea, never brought it up. And he just mumbled it as he walked away. And then we, asked him a few questions. And so if you see guys like that, you see an old guy with a hat on, a veteran's hat or something, shake his hand or whatever. You know what I mean? And what's ironic is he get blown up, I don't know how many times he said. And, he might die from a tick bite up here in Westchester County in the fucking woods. But, Vinny, we salute you. You are the reason I can sit here and shoot off my mouth. And they don't make them like that anymore. There's only a few left, and they're dying by the hundreds of people. So, Vinny, we love you, man. I mentioned Thursday I have to go to Phoenix before I do the Flagstaff gig, and I'll also be taking some comments on the. Anyways, let's get to the first story. North Carolina, here's one for you. Political correctness strikes again. North Carolina cops complain after dollar store managers ask them to not arrest black looters during hurricane. And you got to be shitting me. Just the black looters? Let's show the video of, and I'm not blaming black people just for looting. But
meanwhile, looting is being reported in the midst of torrential rainfall and flooding still happening in the region. On Saturday, Wilmington, North Carolina police said they are aware of the looting at a Family Dollar store, but said the store's management asked them not to.
Not to what? Guys, I give you specific codes. Huh? I give you specific codes.
That was the code.
Bullshit. Then you guys have a different system than me. It's always a second. It's always a second or two short. I don't know why that is, but anyways, you get the idea. But update on the story: the cops in Wilmington have arrested 5 people for looting the dollar store. An incident at a Family Dollar store in Wilmington, North Carolina, that is being described as looting has disappointed local police, who were asked not to intervene, but. On Saturday, a group of people took needed provisions from a dollar store, possibly without authorization. Could you fucking sanitize your language anymore? Whoever fucking wrote this. The Family Dollar sits across from Houston Moore, one of the city's public housing communities. Wilmington police were told by management of a Family Dollar store to stand down. They complained about it on Twitter, writing that, unfortunately, they were asked not to intervene. And here's the tweet. We are aware of the looting occurring at the Family Store at 13th and Greenfield Streets. Unfortunately, management has asked not to intervene at this time. Now, what's missing from this story, folks? And by the way, again, I didn't write down the publication, but you can tell. What's missing for anybody? What's missing so far? I want to know what color the managers were at the store. And I'm not blaming all black people looting. I guarantee you, most of the black people that live in that housing project didn't loot. But these scumbags, as they always do, they come out at the worst time to take advantage of such situations. So, but isn't that kind of germane to the story? What color, and I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to be called a bigot. I'm going to say the managers were black. I'm just going out on a limb. Might not be. If they're white, they're liberal. Either way, it's the same mentality. You tell them to stand down? Thumbs up to fucking lawlessness? Isn't that going to spur on more lawlessness the next time something like this happens? But shouldn't they include that in the fucking story? What color's the manager? Well, then why is that important? What do you mean, why is it important? Are you shitting me? And if it's a white guy, I want to know how he voted the last 20 years. Then you get the real story. But you're not going to see that on the fucking news locally in North Carolina or nationally. You won't see a sniff of this. But isn't that kind of germane to the story? What color's the manager? Just wanted to know. So if white looters showed up, you wouldn't have the cops stand down? Are you fucking kidding me? Come on. Ridiculous. But this is how I know it's a liberal publication. I forgot what I got. On Twitter, the announcement angered conservatives, it says in the article, some of whom called on the police to shoot people getting supplies from the dollar store after living for 2 days without power. Just that sentence right there. First of all, how do you know the conservatives, the people are tweeting that? Well, how do you even fucking know that, okay? You don't.
Don't you move, you motherfucker. I'll blow your brains out.
Like that would be a wrong thing for the cops to say. Secondly, they add, after living for 2 days without power, letting their bleeding hearts fucking leak into the story. Like that justifies it. Oh, they had no power for 2 days. So did a bunch of other people in that neighborhood, I'm sure. And then they put some of the tweets in the article. I don't care if they said not to intervene. It's illegal and you should protect and serve as it is your job. They are criminals. I'm sort of with that person. And then somebody was replying, said, why? If you don't intervene, it makes a statement that it's okay. Exactly. Jesus Christ. Does that have to be explained? And then some idiot, of course, this is why the Second Amendment exists, my dudes. Blast them. And there's where you fucking lose me, stupid. You don't have to go that fucking hard. But I love how whoever wrote this article, injected their opinion. You gotta look for that subtlety that after living for 2 days without power, they should be able to rape and pillage. Fucking horse shit. What am I looking for in here anyways, guys?
Anything interesting you want to talk about?
Yeah, this is makes for great radio, too. We are supposed to... One guy in here says, conservative is shorthand for a racist, according to the media. Well, naturally. Just like thug is shorthand for upstanding citizen of color among conservatives. Yeah. You see, but the person who wrote this was writing about tweets, so they have no idea what the... Oh, how about when you talk about codes? If people on the right, I do this in my act now, people on the right use the word globalists. The people on the left said that is code for Jews. I know a bunch of people who are globalists that aren't Jewish. I was trying to sell my car the other day. This guy was really globaling me down, I'll tell you. And but there are Thugs is not code for anything but thugs. Fucking, it's like porn. You know it when you see it. Okay. But what horse shit? And then she tries to justify the behavior by going, they were living without power for 3 days. Well, then and first of all, if you're going to loot an ice store. Fucking, you're going to go to a dollar store? There's got to be, I got to believe this. It's not the best neighborhood. I don't think this is a Macy's right there or a fucking Bloomingdale's. And who's the giant man in the middle? Jesus Christ. Apparently the tight end for North Carolina State needed toilet paper. Look at the size of that fucking moose. Really might be wide, I ain't sure. But to tell the cops to stand down and not arrest the black people, okay? That's just fucking liberalism, no matter who it came out of, regardless of the fucking race. 833-599-6425 is this number, and what the fuck? You know who is it gonna be? And yes, I can hear my lip for it. Well, it's socioeconomics and bub they're poor, and you know, a dollar store right across from a public housing project. That's just asking for. I guess the mentality being is they're not gonna fucking shoplift if everything's only 99 cents. Oh, you'd be surprised. What are you gonna get at a 99-cent store? I got 200 Clark bars and some fucking pork rinds. 99 cents, 12 pounds. Anyways, I love that the cops ended up arresting him because, you know, apparently they read some of the tweets and said, yeah, we should fucking be doing our job. You don't let the fucking manager of the store decide. Especially if he looks like fucking B.B. King. What? Let's go to Colin in San Francisco. Colin, how are you, fella?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
I just wanted to call you because I almost got fired. Well, I pretty much got fired.
Colin, talk into the
Yeah.
talk into the mouthpiece.
Sorry.
Thank you.
My apologies.
I'm this close to not taking calls anymore. Go ahead.
My apologies about that. I got fired from a job for asking somebody if they knew who Rodney King was. Because then somebody who was black decided that was a racial issue. When I asked a person, because they were so young that they didn't know who Rodney King was, that it surprised me. And
are you white, Colin? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And the person you
I'm Irish. Come on, Colin.
Yeah, I know, but come on. It could have been Kollen, you know?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so the person you were asking was what color? Not that it really matters, but
She was actually a beautiful black girl, about 18 years old, and when I asked her, she was like, no, I don't know who Rodney King is. And the joke was to somebody else who was turning 30, and I was like, guess how old you are? She don't know that. And right there, that was the joke to her.
right.
But, oh my God.
And you got
Then
fired
I
for
get
that?
fired from a job. Fired from the job.
For that, you know for a fact that was the comment they said.
For saying, do you know who Rodney King is?
Yeah,
That's it.
I believe.
It's a racial issue.
Yeah, I've said this before, Colin. This is where we are. Hey, thank you for the call, by the way. Great call. I've said this before. Just white people talking about black people in any context. This is where we're headed. Just you talking about black people in any context is considered like appropriation now. And I believe that story 1,000%. They don't want you talking about them. They don't want you dressing like them. It is unbelievable where we are headed. I believe that 1,000%. Just for asking, how is that? It doesn't even have to be, in a negative light. Just you talking about black people. It is fucking insane. But, and that's San Francisco, so that's not hard to believe. You know what I mean? Let's see here. This is just what I thought it was, guys. I can't sit here and I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. It's what I fucking don't like about it. I'm supposed to sit here for 30 seconds and look through the ones that I want to talk about. It's fucking dog shit. All due respect.
Do you want us to go through them on the show and then tell you the best ones?
And how would you relay that to me? Yeah, you can, in my ear, you mean?
Like this?
Yeah, I guess so. I can't sit here and go, oh, this guy wants to talk about me in high school. This guy likes my tie. This guy, I mean, what the fuck?
I'll get Jason right on it.
Anyways. So, let's get on to the NFL. And yes, I'm still watching, okay? I stand when they play the national anthem. Anywhere I stand. Doesn't matter what the... I stand for the Canadian national anthem. It's my favorite. But I got to be honest with you. You know I'm a college football buff. I love college football, and the NFL kind of bores me. But I got to be honest, it's been kind of good this year. There's some interesting stories. None better than the Cleveland Browns. Did you guys watch Hard Knocks on HBO? I was watching that they featured the Cleveland Browns this year, and I'm like, I can just see this kind of a hip-hop mentality during camp. But they had a lot of talent. They had some new guys. I like Hugh Jackson. He used to coach the Raiders, I believe, speaking of race. But it looked kind of like a fucked up, you could just tell The Office, you could tell they have no money. The coach is sitting on like a milk crate for a seat, and there's candles in the room and no lights and rotary phone, and they're looking at a projector instead of actual foot. Let's say it was a little loose and shit, kind of a hip-hop feel. But they got a lot of talent, and I think Hugh Jackson's a decent coach. But anyways, they lose last week opening against, what was it, Pittsburgh? The guy misses an extra point?
They tied, actually, last week.
I mean,
against
tied.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Excuse me. But they could have won, right? The guy missed the extra point. What's his name? Well, this week, the poor bastard. Jesus Christ. Moments after celebrating his big 47-yard touchdown catch on fourth down that tied the game at 18 with 1:16 left, Zane Gonzalez, the poor bastard, stepped up and missed the extra point. It was his third of his 4 straight missed kicks on his nightmare day. At that point, after he does what he did last weekend and he misses the first 2 this weekend, I'd bring in a goddamn nose tackle to kick the goddamn ball at that point. Supposedly, he has a pull groin, which is impossible. You're a soccer-style kicker. I kicked in high school a little bit. I also played offensive defense, so don't fucking peg me as a little... But I kick soccer. You can't kick with a groin pull. Now, I don't know if he's making that up. He had an MRI and stuff, but you replace him. I replace him after he misses the first 2. But he missed 2 field goals, 2 extra points, and it opened the door for Drew Brees, who won 28-18. Will Lutz field goal with 21 seconds remaining. Gonzalez, the Browns' second-year kicker, got one more chance to tie the game on a 52-yard attempt, but it's surprisingly... Yeah, we got footage of it. We got video of...
in his career.
Oh, the poor prick.
Gonzalez, he's missed to the left, he's missed to the right, and the Saints are going to win this game.
Just a bit outside. Not even fucking close, the poor bastard. And the other kicker after the game for the Saints came over and consoled the poor prick. And by the way, he got the axe today. Surprise, surprise. But Jesus, do you understand they were dominating the Saints the whole game? They could be 2-0, the Browns. And it's even a bigger story because they haven't won in 2 years. I feel so bad because I watch Hard Knocks. I feel like I know these guys. I am pulling for the Cleveland Browns. NFL would be better if the Browns were good because they're one of the main staples of the origins of the NFL. But holy Christ. Gonzalez was also missed an extra point after Carlos Hyde's 1-yard touchdown made it 12-3 in the third, and a 44-yard field goal with 14 minutes left in the game. Was consoled by his teammates and coach Hugh Jackson. Somebody left a noose on his... No, I'm just shitting. Anyways. Hugh Jackson said, I told him he's going to get a chance to make a kick that was going to win the game for us. The Browns came back even after that. My aching stem. God damn it. But, so he's gone. Nothing we could do about it. Yeah, they gave him the boot. Today he got the boot. Excuse me. They signed rookie. Fucking A. I got a new microphone, you know. They signed rookie kicker Greg Joseph to play. Who the fuck is Greg Joseph? I think he was in the manger, wasn't he? To replace Zane Gonzalez, who missed 4 attempts. And Joseph was in training camp with the Dolphins. He should have made all 3 of his attempts during preseason. One of several kickers to try out for the Browns. And Gonzalez has been kicking with a groin injury. I don't know if that's true or not, but he's gone.
Bye-bye.
Poor prick. And here's my second favorite story of the week 2. Did you guys see this? I didn't see it till this morning. A Bills player, a guy muffed a punt and sent the Bills player Taiwan, spelled just like the country. Taiwan Jones running to retrieve the loose ball in the end zone while evading tackles. He lost his helmet, continued to run. At that point, even I know the refs are supposed to blow the whistle when a guy loses his fucking helmet. Maybe some of these refs didn't like this guy, but they watched as he escaped about 8 guys in the end zone. We got the video, don't we? And he gets hit head on head, not helmet on helmet, because he's lost his helmet. Let's watch this. This is fucking brutal. Helmet comes off. Bong! Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Hey, I think I broke his fucking neck.
Only a brother. Are there tougher people on the planet than fucking dudes in the NFL, especially the brothers? Only a brother could take a shot in the head like that and still gets up. Had a laceration. I think he left the guy in. But how do all those refs right there not blow the whistle?
Mr. Official, let me ask you something. How can 6 of you miss a play like that, huh? All 6 of you. The ball jumped out of there as soon as we made contact. And nobody...
I thought you were talking about you being on the field.
No. What?
The great Hank Stram. Holy crap. You almost got a guy killed. There'll probably be lawsuits against the officials now and stuff. I don't blame the guy who hit him, because you're running down there, you're fighting off blocks, you're not looking, and you come in at 100 miles an hour, and the guy doesn't have a helmet on, and I don't know what he was thinking without the helmet, where he was going. He's in the goddamn end zone. What's he going to make, a 112-yard run? But I can't wait to see the fallout with the officials. Those are my 2 favorite NFL stories. The Patriots look like dog shit, and the Jets look like dog shit. They came down to earth, and it's a weird year. But and the Giants look like Girl Scouts last night against the Cowboys, huh, Jace? Jace, you a Giants fan?
I'm a Jets fan.
Oh, you're a Jets fan.
Yeah, I was actually at the game yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't mention that.
No, that was a decent game.
No, it was a terrific game.
I mean, there were things I like what Darnold did. He looked like a rookie at points, but
no, that kid's the real deal. Yeah. I'm not questioning that. It's just I'm questioning your head coach. How many fucking chances does he get? Oh, that's right. Racism would come into play. Let's get on with it, shall we? What do you guys think of this? The whole Kavanaugh. You following the Brett Kavanaugh?
Hear ye, hear ye. The court's in session. The court's in session now. Here come the judge. Here come the judge.
A woman who has accused Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault when they were fucking teenagers back in the 1850s went public with her name for the first time on Sunday. Of course she did. Now she's famous.
Raping me. This is rape. This is rape. This is rape.
Hear ye, hear ye.
The public allegation by the woman Christine Blasey Ford. Can we put a picture of her up? Yeah, there she is. Hope she's legally blind. Is she going to do some welding with those glasses? What the fuck? She went to the Washington Post. They published an article on Sunday, threatened to alter the trajectory of the confirmation process that has been heading toward a vote in the Senate Judiciary Committee on Thursday. You know who? Republican Jeff Flake, who hates Trump, and thank God this guy's retiring, sits on the committee, said he wouldn't vote for Judge Kavanaugh to advance the full Senate until the committee had heard from Mrs. Ford. Might as well be fucking Gerald Ford. Might as well be, who's the Ford? Henry Ford's wife. Are you dog-styling me? In the 1980s, he climbed on a bed drunk with her and groped her, and she says put her hand over her mouth. She doesn't even really mention rape. And then another buddy, how weird is this? Buddy of Kavanaugh's named Mark Judge. It's just a weird world. Remember the OJ? You're shrugging your shoulders, Jason. I'm not going to make a point. The OJ case where the cops beat Rodney King. One of the officers was Officer Coombs. So I'm just saying this has happened. Numerous stories. Anyways, yeah. So this is totally political because she's a fucking. I'm sorry, and ladies, I'm not. Again, I know this has happened to a lot of yous out there, but this is total bullshit. She's at the Women's Pride March with a pussy hat on, and fucking, she signed some petition when Trump was trying to, get his immigration passed, and she was irate that people were being separated from their families, and she donates to the DNC, not much money. She's a psychology professor at Stanford. Gee, I wonder how she voted. You don't think this is and the biggest point of all, why didn't she report it a long fucking time ago? She's been sitting on this for 30-something years, and a couple days before he's about to be confirmed, this comes out thanks to Dianne Feinstein. Ugh, making me fucking sick. This is total nonsense, in my opinion. I could be wrong. She took a polygraph test that says she's telling the truth. That doesn't prove anything. Doesn't mean it was an attempted rape. Just seems very political to me. I'm sorry. Mrs. Ford in the Post article said that when she and Judge Kavanaugh were teenagers at a party in D.C. area, he and a friend pulled her into a bedroom. Kavanaugh pinned her down on the bed, groped her, and attempted to remove her clothing before she escaped. Mrs. Ford, who's a professor at Palo Alto University, described the episode as aggressive. I thought he might inadvertently kill me. Inadvertently kill you by putting his hand over your mouth for 2 seconds? He didn't have you in a chokehold. I'm not getting it. I'm not making light of it, but I kind of am. Nobody's more cynical than a fucking feminist, especially a sociology professor at Palo Alto University. Kavanaugh denied the assertions when they began to surface without the accuser's name last week. I categorically and unequivocally deny this allegation, Judge Kavanaugh said in a statement released to the White House. I did not do this back in high school any other time. And I tend to believe him. He was an altar boy. I know that doesn't mean much, but he was a really straight, creepy, not creepy, but creepy in the sense that a real, button down. And Mrs. Feinstein came out and said, I support Mrs. Ford's decision to share the story now that it's in the hands of the FBI to conduct an investigation. Well, the FBI says they're not going to conduct an investigation. The lawyer representing her, this woman, said her claims are not politically motivated and she is willing to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. And Kavanaugh said he'd go before a Senate committee too. So, but they're not politically motivated? Are you fucking kidding me? She rejected any claims her client has come forward now to scuttle Kavanaugh's nomination. No, really? It's not like the Dems have a history of doing that. If you guys remember Clarence Thomas and the pubic hair on the can of Coke and all that shit, they're the most evil fuckstains alive. They'll do anything to win politically. Okay? No one in their right minds, this is the lawyer talking, regardless of their motive, would want to inject themselves into this process and face the kind of annihilation that she will be subjected to by those who want this nomination to go through. This is not a politically motivated action. In fact, she was quite reluctant to come forward, and she was, in fact, outed after she had made the decision not to come forward. She clearly considers this an attempted rape. That's what you said. She believes that if it were not for the severe intoxication of Brett Kavanaugh, she would have been raped. I say horseshit. I'm not buying it. Sorry.
Liar,
Put on your
whore,
pussy
liar,
hat.
Whore, and you know it.
Let's go to John in Atlanta. John, what's going on?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good.
What's up, Nick? How you doing?
Good.
Oh, just want to say, I just want to say, first, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
Yeah, but, I just want to call and give my opinion on the Brett Kavanaugh situation.
Can you?
I think it's totally ridiculous.
Are you on speakerphone? John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Can you get off it?
I can try. Hold on. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, now speak into the mouthpiece. Thank you.
Okay. So pretty much like I was saying, I think this is totally, made up, and I mean, I don't know, made up, but totally politically motivated and, completely ridiculous. So, yeah. And plus, it's very concerning to me that all a person has to do is make an accusation, regardless if the accusation is true or not, is make an accusation of you being a rapist or whatever, and your career is basically ruined. So,
Right.
So that's very concerning.
Okay. You're cutting out, but I'll take your call as we chop you off. Yeah, especially now with the hashtag Me Too thing and after the Roy Moore thing. You don't think you're going to play this to the fucking hilt? But this whole hashtag Me Too hypersensitivity, of course they're going to do this. And it's laughable to say it's not politically charged. Like I said, it's been around forever. I mean, Dianne Feinstein sat on this since July. That's not fucking weird. But she's a Trump hater, this woman. She has a history of left-wing political activism. She signed a letter attacking Trump's zero-tolerance policy at the U.S.-Mexico border, asserting that it was violating fundamental human rights. Ford attended a women's march event and even wore a version of the infamous pussy hat made to look like a brain. She donated to the DNC, Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, and Friends of Bernie Sanders. Perhaps in an attempt to hide her motives, Ford scrubbed her social media presence before the allegations came to light. That smells like fish, too. The FBI has refused to open an investigation. And then Chuck Grassley, he's a Judiciary Committee chairman, sent out a letter on Friday morning on behalf of 65 women who knew Kavanaugh when he was in high school, asserting, for the entire time we have known Brett Kavanaugh, he has behaved honorably and treated women with respect. Look, even if he did do what she's saying, I mean, it wasn't fucking rape. His buddy came running in and knocked them both off the bed. And I'm sorry. In this day and age, like I said, with hashtag Me Too, and everything's political, and this guy is the most straight-laced altar boy, coaches his daughter's basketball team for the last 8 years. But even so, this is what we're doing. When she was 15, he was 17. We're going to dig up shit from 30 years ago. Like they're digging up tweets of athletes, white athletes who made racial comments. And is this the fucking world we're going to live in? Apparently. Sickening. Anyways. Let's go to the chat. Yeah, they all agree with me. Anyways. Sorry, politically motivated. You guys weren't around for Clarence Thomas. As they do. Judge Bork, when he tried to become a Supreme Court justice, he mentioned he smoked pot when he was at Harvard, and that cost him. Outrageous. I'm sure they'd feel that way if it was a fucking lefty judge who admitted he smoked pot. Really silly. Let's go to line 1. Says Nick in Georgia. Nick, what's going on?
Oh, shit. Oh, Nick DiPaolo, how you doing, buddy?
What's up?
Huge fan, first off. I I just wanted to call you up and say how much of a huge fan I was, and I love your political, you know, where you're going for, and
the truth.
The truth, exactly. It's embarrassing. The rest of this shit, CNN, MSNBC.
What do you think?
I'm 24.
What did Kavanaugh?
I'm what you would call, you know, the millennial. You know.
What do you think of this Kavanaugh business?
It's embarrassing.
You know,
embarrassing.
It's a little weird that she sat on it for 30 years, right?
Yeah, 30 years, and then all of a sudden, just because this bullshit comes, you know, I mean, granted, you know, there's some stuff that comes out, but you know, I mean, you know, like Weinstein, obviously something's going to come out like that, but you know, they're all trying to get on board. They're trying to get on the same ship.
Yeah.
You know, they're pulling stuff out of their ass.
Yeah, I mean, like they're a legitimate. Obviously, I don't make light of the hashtag Me Too, because the Weinsteins of the world and the Charlie Roses, and there's a lot of bad shit, but it gets conflated. It's so the minute that Weinstein story broke, you knew this thing was going to run forever. Because I'll say it again, at the core of political correctness...
Look at
Stormy Daniels. At the core of political correctness is the fucking feminist movement. They're out of their fucking minds, and they'll do any... Yeah. That's all they have in their life.
It's embarrassing.
Is their politics. So thanks for the call. Thanks for the calling. That's all they have in their life. Their empty lives is politics. And he's going to get confirmed anyways. But Chuck Schumer's going, we can't move forward yet now. It's just fucking sickening. Sickening. Anyways. Isn't that weird? But his buddy was... His classmate, Mark Judge, has reiterated his strong denial of the allegations, saying that he watched Kavanaugh allegedly sexually assault the girl when they were at a party. And... now that Ford's name and more details about her allegation were released in a Post story, Judge reiterated his denial. Now that the anonymous person has been identified and has spoken to the press, I repeat my earlier statement. I have no recollection of any of the events described in today's Post article or attributed to her letter. He also said, it's just about absolutely nuts. I never saw Brett act that way. And so do 65 other women. That doesn't mean they weren't there that night and he got a little silly or whatever. But... Jesus Christ, if this is the world. And by the way, Dems and lefties and shit, as long as you hold Bill Clinton up as one of your fucking idols, you can't even bring shit like this up. How about that? New rule. Yeah, new rule. Anything in the chat room, fellas, I should be... See anything interesting in there? I can't do both.
Somebody yelled out, gay.
Gay? Okay, that could be directed to... That's the shit I'm trying to avoid, Ryan. That's why,
Gotcha. That's why I've been keeping my mouth shut for the most part.
So it's all that shit?
No. A lot of people here are being really,
yeah,
mostly agreeing with you.
Yeah, which is fucking. I don't know what to tell you. It's a fucking. David in Georgia. Let's go to David in Georgia. Wants to talk about Kavanaugh and Herman Cain similarities. How you doing, David?
Hey, Nick. Long time fan here.
Thank you.
I noticed that this sort of thing had really kind of hit its stride when we saw during the Herman Cain's candidacy, where when he was ahead in the polls, it just came up out of nowhere.
Yes.
And started making the accusations. Now, the thing was, after the fact, we found out that these women, first of all, were making a bundle on going in and speaking on these shows and doing talks and all this stuff. But then it came out after the fact that they'd been released from several other companies by doing the exact same thing there in order to try and seek advancement by making these accusations against people. Now, the thing with once you're in the political sphere, there is there's no room for this kind of, especially if you're conservative, this appearance of any kind of impropriety. So the thing is, we've got a sociology professor who may or may not have been the daughter of parents whose bankruptcy trial was overseen by Kavanaugh's mother when she was a judge. Coming out all these years later, making this accusation. She's in California. She's a post-secondary education professor.
Yeah, psychology
I mean,
professor.
She's thoroughly well, exactly, but post-secondary education, it's all ensconced with this leftism. So they're the people who are getting in a tizzy about the fact that Kavanaugh is going to ban abortion and get black people kicked out of the country and all this ridiculousness. So the interesting thing will be to see, is she negotiating a book deal? Is she already getting feelers for potentially doing talk shows and all this kind of stuff? This whole thing of I wanted to stay anonymous, it's a ploy, and it was an attempt to see, in my opinion, what they were trying to do with this whole anonymity was going to see if they could get them to pull the nomination or get Kavanaugh to bow out.
Yeah, when he didn't, and we didn't, they
actually come out.
Right, and when he didn't do that, they're like, okay, now we're going to play hardball. You make all great points, and I didn't realize the connection about the bankruptcy. That's very interesting. That's very telling, and like you said, when you put it all together, psychology professor, and you know what goes on college campuses, it's ridiculous, to think this isn't political. I hate to be so goddamn cynical, but you got to be kidding me. Sitting on this for 30, and Dianne Feinstein, who, by the way, she was kind of moderate, back in the day, but now that the Democrat Party's moved so far left, the young progressives fucking don't like her, and they probably put the squeeze on her to release this, and it really is fucking. It's unbelievable. But the bankruptcy thing, that's a connection that I didn't read. I read 5 of the stories. So great call. Thanks, David. Mike in Georgia. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Mike. Hey, Nick. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. Your thoughts?
Good. My thoughts are this. Here, 1 second, man. I'm doing construction right now.
Mm-hmm. Take your time.
Yeah, so it's Kavanaugh bullshit.
All right. Thanks for the call. Jesus Christ, folks. I get to the point if you call in. I don't have fucking 3 fucking hours. I think we can all agree it's politically motivated and charged, and could be wrong, but again, and of course, she said it damaged her relationships with the future men and blah blah blah. It's the same. How about this? In my neck of the woods, my cousin had a place down at Cape Cod, but this 26-year-old kid killed in an attack by a shark off of Cape Cod. Unbelievable. Arthur Medici of Revere, Massachusetts, it's all Brazilian now. Bitten by a shark Saturday while boogie boarding off Newcomb Hollow Beach in Wellfleet. Wellfleet's one of the first gigs I ever did was in Wellfleet, a beautiful beach. It's kind of a remote beach down the Cape, way at the tip, and just a really gorgeous place. He was boogie boarding off Newcomb Hollow Beach, Wellfleet, died at the hospital. He was the state's first shark attack fatality more than 80 years, and the second attack victim this summer on Cape Cod. We have we got a clip of his brother, his brother-in-law, his future brother-in-law. He was engaged, of course. He was an active member of Christian church, loved hiking, biking, surfing, and his aunt told him many times not to get. She actually brought it up, and he's like, I'm Superman. I'm not going to get attacked by a shark or whatever. Here's his brother-in-law being interviewed, who pulled him from the water after the attack, and they tried to perform CPR, but he had lost too much blood. Here's his brother-in-law.
I already heard him screaming, and I saw a lot of blood in the water, and I saw like the shark's tail.
Medici, the victim of a vicious shark attack.
I was water skiing in high school, and with my buddies off my I had my old man's boat, and I remember them joking because they saw like a shadow in the fucking water, but they didn't tell me that I got into the boat that they had saw a shadow after I had wiped out, and the next day I'm listening to the radio in Boston, and we were right off of either Misery Island, one of those islands, water skiing, and it was fucking. They spotted a 12-foot shark right where we were water skiing. But I can't. Can you imagine the first fatality since 1936? But here's the thing: a guy got attacked there. A 61-year-old man got attacked there in August, a little north of there in Truro, and he was in the hospital for months. Matter of fact, the day he was being released, the day this kid got killed. How fucking creepy is that? He was in the hospital for months. As I get older, I'm becoming more of a pussy about that. I used to fucking jump off the boat anywhere and whatever. And what's going on is the seals are coming in closer to the beach off this big, and you know, that's the shark's favorite appetizer. And people are boogie boarding near the seals, and next thing you know, but I thought that was fucking horrific, man. Imagine his family, and the aunt's like, don't go out there, you're gonna, you know, I won't, I'll be fine. But, yeah, 61-year-old New York man was injured fighting a shark off on Truro, 4 miles north of the attack. And he was just getting out of the hospital the day this kid got attacked. 39 confirmed unprovoked shark bites worldwide this year, including 22 in the U.S., most of them on the East Coast. And then I'm watching the news today, and they gave tips how to avoid it, and they said, you know, stay in shallow water was one of the tips. That's not where you stay. That's where the majority of the fucking shark attacks happen, in shallow water. That was one of the tips. With help like that, no lifeguards because the beach was officially closed because it's the middle of September, and you know, I know people who surf and shit. Not getting me out there. Brendan in Long Island wants to talk about Kavanaugh.
Mr. Nick, I love the show, man.
Brendan, what's happening? Your thoughts on Kavanaugh and this crazy bitch? I mean, woman.
Okay. So they want to go all the way back to high school, right?
Yes.
For Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
To get a little bit of bullshit on him. Let's just go back, I don't know, what was it, less than a year ago, where Mr. Ellison, the Democratic douchebag that he is,
from
on 911
from Minneapolis,
tape beating his girlfriend.
Yes.
Beating his girlfriend. They have 911 tape of him.
Right.
Right? And nobody says nothing. He's still sitting there, top of on his high horse, putting judgment on Kavanaugh for something he did back in high school. I'd like to see what Ellison did back in high school. He's probably smoking meth, effing trannies in their third input.
You don't have to go that crazy, Brendan. But yeah, no, absolutely. He fucking had charges against him. His ex-girlfriend said
they get me tight.
Yeah, I know. And by the way, yeah. And somebody's defending Al Franken today, some higher up in the Democrat Party. So this is how it works. And then until the fucking conservatives or whatever right-wingers have something other than Fox News and a couple of conservative radio shows, their truth is never going to get out there. As long as the mainstream media, social media, is just loaded, you know, Facebook, and we know what Twitter does, and Google censoring all this shit. And what they put Kavanaugh through already is fucking insane. They've asked him for more documents, over 1 million documents, more than any other justice trying to get confirmed. It's just, what a fucking sad country right now. Ooh. I'm sure this woman's fine. Clinton, Cape Cod. Clint.
I tried to warn him, Nick. I told him the porgies were schooling up, the seals were moving in, the boy went in the water, the shark was in the water. I tried to warn him.
You know what's funny?
Farewell and adieu to the young greasy wappy.
God. I mean, look, come on. We feel bad for the family, but thanks, Clint. But he's sort of right. I was reading another article, and this guy was furious at the beach officials for not closing the beach. There were numerous days where they closed the beach for an hour and opened it back, but they knew they had a problem. It was sort of very Amityville-like, just like the fucking movie Jaws. So, lawsuits will follow, I'm sure. But that poor bastard, young kid, engaged, of course, and Do we have video? We have video of shark video. That was a girl's legs. I would have tried to swim and bit those myself. Then Mrs. Kittner comes out and you knew the beaches. She's wrong, Martin. No, she's right. My kids were on that beach too, Martin. Hey, it's a pen, Larry. You know what a pen is. Go ahead, Jace.
We got some chat highlights.
Oh, do we?
Ed G says, shark attack is because of global warming and therefore is all Trump's fault.
Yes. Ed G, you are correct, sir. It's all... Global warming didn't start until Trump took office. And I'm sure if he stayed in that treaty and things would have been different. But people are actually saying that. Politicizing the fucking shark attack because of global... Which is nonsense. What was going on in 1936 when a guy got chewed up 3 feet from the beach? What was the temperature then? 11? Come on, you suckasses! The problem was, this kid, well, anyways. I would not be a woman having my period and taking a dip in Cape Cod for the next 4 or 5 years. I mean, that's just natural chum, as they call it. Why don't you come down here and throw some of this chum into a... Starboard, aren't you watching it, you idiot? We politicize everything, even the shark attacks. They really are. They're trying to pin it on fucking Trump because of global warming. And this story dovetails right into that. This is a cute story. Pampers is ditching Sesame Street diapers amid gender concerns. What else? The characters from Sesame. We are politicizing diapers now. Where babies drop their nice yellow loads. We're politicizing where babies shit. Not we, them. Who's them? You know who. As Uncle Junior said on The Sopranos, who stole your car, Uncle Junior? You know who. The Amish. The characters from Sesame Street are quietly getting pulled from Pampers, and it might be because they're mostly dudes, this chick writes. In a major move this summer that hasn't been officially announced, the world's biggest diaper brand has quietly wiped characters like Elmo, Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Oscar the Grouch from most of its diapers. Why? Because all those puppets have cocks. Jason, why cringe? I mean, it's true, isn't it?
That's just my laughing face. It's kind of cringy.
It's kind of cunty, I'll tell you. Can you imagine? These are puppets we're talking about. They have no genitalia, but they're male puppets. And, I mean, do they ever let it go? Do you feminist fucking maniac, empty... I don't know what to call you. Do you ever take a minute off? Ever? The stealthy Muppet removal was confirmed by officials at Sesame Street and Procter & Gamble. But when asked by the Post spokespeople... were cagey about the reasons. Shoppers like Susie Wong Benjamin.
It's not going to be long before you all kill yourselves because you're all crazy. And you can project it back on
Susie Wong Benjamin, a mother of two in the Bronx, who thought she had bought fake Pampers when a recent batch bore generic-looking designs, said customer service reps at P&G partly blamed the stealthy switch on gender issues. When she called about it last week, the Pampers rep said parents who have daughters thought that the Sesame Street characters are too masculine. I don't buy that for a second. That's a fucking lie. And I'm with Susie Wong Benjamin. She knows she was being taken. Asked whether parents had complained that Sesame Street characters lacked female representation, a Pampers spokeswoman dodged the question initially before saying no in an email to the Post. Lying whores. Lying whores.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
We learned there was a growing desire from moms and dads for modern, fresh graphics. However, when the Post asked Sesame Street spokeswoman Beatrice Chow broadly, with no mention of gender, why Pampers was pulling Sesame Street characters, Chow responded by emailing a link with, she said, details about Pampers' current support for our gender equality work. Do you understand? It doesn't matter if your kid's shitting onto the face. If we're going to politicize it, let's put politicians on the diapers. Let's make a nice line with Pelosi's face, and love to see diarrhea splattered Pelosi's face. Hillary, the thick-ankle dog face, put her on there. And, or Ortez, the new socialist, or Bernie. And then on the right, have diapers with Ted Cruz, that little liberal kids can shit on, and Mike Pence, and all the people you hate. If we're going to politicize it, if you want to take a dump on Trump's face, put it on a diaper, I say. I spent like $40 online. I bought a roll of Hillary toilet paper so I could wipe my ass with it. And I couldn't even bear to do. I couldn't even look at it. It was on the roll, and it was making me sick to my stomach. I couldn't even fucking wipe my ass with this. Anyways. Yeah? Anybody? Ryan, don't do that. I'll come in there and choke you. So they lied about it, Sesame Street. The link was to a year-old press release titled P&G Sesame Street Partner to Promote Gender Equality, which highlighted the female character Chamkey, a vibrant 5-year-old Muppet with a nice snatch. What? Oh, she's featured in the Indian version of Sesame Street. They must have like 1,000 people. You know how Oscar lives in a garbage pail? The Indian characters must have about 10,000 of those. Have you ever seen Calcutta downtown? I have a summer home there. Anytime I want diarrhea, I fly to New Delhi. What? That's racist. Yeah, kiss my grits. If Procter & Gamble and Sesame Street are scrambling to address complaints about gender, few of them appear to have surfaced publicly. Meanwhile, the quiet, seismic shift away from a 15-year tie-up has sparked confusion and outrage online. This person writes, I'm convinced I got fake Pampers swaddlers from Amazon. One miffed mother wrote on parenting blog Baby Center in early June. Another chimed in saying the new Pampers have a cat on them and look fake. Wong Benjamin says she demanded and got a refund from a local Walgreens after her 2-month-old son Xavier leaked more with new Pampers. Even though they don't even hold the shit and piss. Which instead of Muppets, they have generic-looking designs of paper airplanes and cameras on. You know those were made in China. Pictures of cameras on the fucking diapers? That's China. You know that's China. And they're fascinated with paper airplane. But this is where we're at, folks. Politicizing diapers. Jesus Christ, gender this, gender that. All take a fucking... Just go away. Go away, please. Could you please? Go. Go find a fucking island where you all be happy. Because you weren't born with thick enough skin to live on the planet we live on. You just fucking weren't. Can you imagine being a mother and complaining your fucking diapers are too masculine for my daughter? And then if you put ballerinas on them and fucking flowers, they'd complain. What is this faggotry? My daughter's can do anything a man could do. Put a drill on there and a dump truck. By the way, she doesn't even know her sex yet. We're going to, what do you do for those kids? What do you do for hermaphrodite? You put a race car and what? Fucking ballerina shoes. I've had it with this world, folks. I really have. Anything? That's all I got today. I fucking had it. Remember, Thursday, I'm doing a gig. Corporate gig, so no show Thursday. We'll dig something up. We'll have to put a best up together or some type of stuff like that. But, and then see you in Flagstaff on Friday night at the Orpheum Theater. Anything to add, Twinks? Take your time. All right.
Not really. I got nothing back here. Just panicking, catching on fire, you know.
Oh.
I have a guy who did a super shout or whatever the hell YouTube
he
calls
did?
it. Yep.
Okay.
Some guy.
And what does he say?
His name is
I can't read it. Read into my
Mike
fucking-
Rossi. This country is fucked. Hate saying it, but it's the truth. We have 20 to 30 years left, then it's game over. Checkmate. So sad. Agree or disagree, Nick?
20 or 30 years left? First of all, I was saying it was over my freshman year in college. And I wasn't that far. 30. This guy's an optimist. 20 to 30 years? What are you, shitting me? ISIS is setting up shop all over the city, all over fucking Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City. After 9/11. 30 years? 30 years? At that point, let's see, I'll be, I'll still be around, hopefully. 86. But, no, I don't give it 30 years. I give it 25 to 30 minutes. But you're right. We are cutting our own throats. Death of a Nation. Go see it. Dinesh D'Souza's movie. Death of a Nation. Go see it. And go see how other republics went down the toilet. Read about Rome. We're in the final days of Rome, folks. They're here. And the foreign enemies, if they don't take us down, the fucking progressives in this country will. The jerk-offs that are indoctrinating your kids on college campuses. And your kids don't know anything about American history. They are convinced this is the most evil, racist, sexist place in the world because they have this myopic view, have no fucking clue about history because it's not taught anymore. And between that and Rules for Radicals and Saul Alinsky, they shove that down your kids' throats. Oh, no. 30 years. That's very, very optimistic. I say it's all going to implode right up to the Milwaukee Brewers. When they were, well, actually, that would be 30 years from now. But I don't know. But no, and all joking aside, we're finished. We're arguing about what toilets to use, what type of Muppet should be on fucking diapers, safe spaces for white kids now on college campuses, not just black kids, and people with their support camels getting on planes, and just, you know, fucking the knockout game. Kids online being egged on to commit suicide by adults. What makes you think we're finished as a nation? That's it, folks. We will see you tomorrow. Remember, you think it, I'll say it. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.